And good morning. My name is Lance. I'm a North Dakota Carnivore. How you doing this morning? It's Saturday morning, the 10th of January. And this meeting is basically weekend support meeting for the carnivore diet. And or actually any type of diet, whether it's carnivore, keto, or whatever you're doing. If you need some support or community, that's what this is for. So I'm just opening up everything. So if anybody wants to chat and talk about it, we're here. Oh, look at that. Good morning, John. How are you today? It is nice to see that you did make it this morning. How's your week been? And Bride's Biscuit. Good morning, Bride's Biscuit. Cy and Rick's meeting this morning. I get up when I'm getting stuff ready for this meeting here. I listen to Rick. He's energetic in the mornings like that. Not quite like he's not crazy like Kiltz. Kiltz gets wild on Sunday mornings when he's by himself, but it's always good. And yeah. Hey, good morning, Aaron. How are you doing today? What do you have planned for this morning? Are you still doing your sardine fast, Aaron? I got somebody knocking at the door. My dog. Just a second here. All right. Hey, so I'm back. That was just the mailman dropping some stuff off that had to be signed for. So that's what happens early in the morning when you're the only one awake. Oh, you're not bad today, Aaron. You're at work again, picking up some extra hours. John's been working on content for his YouTube channel, making a video about the metabolic healing journey. Yeah, that's awesome. I've been enjoying your content, John. I sent some stuff to my kids about that today. Oh, you did stop it, and you're going to be doing your sardine fast again. Yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, I had to go talk to my son for a package from the mailman. So, you wish you had time to watch. I watch bits and pieces of stuff. You should see my list of the ones I subscribe to. I've got so many different things on there. I can't watch them all. The shorter videos are easier to watch. Long streams or long form content's getting harder and harder to watch. Yeah, you catch replays when you can. It's a lot of what I do too, Aaron. And it gets really complicated sometimes. It's a rotating Saturday that you're working. It's not extra days. I get that. You get a comp day during the week. That is nice to have. I don't get those kind of things. Kind of weird because right now I've been streaming these live streams to my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, and my X channel. Well, my X channel got hacked. I don't have it anymore. So when I'm looking at these live streams before, when I was on X with it, it showed me how many people altogether were watching between YouTube and X. Rumble doesn't give me a count at all. But it's actually really weird, and it's hard to get an account back if it gets hacked like that. I got a notification on, it was like Tuesday, right around noon, that my email from my X account had been changed. And I got it from X. If you didn't do this, then click here. It didn't do diddly squat. And trying to get X support to get the channel back it's not easy. And they take their sweet time about it. John's still trying to figure out how I'm going to do what's on my mind. I don't know if technology is there yet. Yeah, you get something in that you want to do and you know how you want to do it, but you got to find a way to make technology work for you on that. Sometimes that's difficult. What do you guys think of the new food pyramid that's out? Do you think that's going to do any good for anybody? I think it's a good start. I like how if you go to the realfood.gov site, it gives you can scroll through it, and it puts the food groups on the pyramid one at a time. And that's actually pretty cool. Well, looky there. Hey, Larry, how are you doing this morning? Nice to see you this morning. Getting ready for your live here in 50 minutes, 40 minutes. I'll be there after I get done with this one, that's for sure. And you think it'll get more people to think about real food? I'm hoping it does, because when they came out with that food pyramid back in the 70s, that was an advertising campaign that was just, a bunch of garbage, and all it's done is wrecked a lot of people's health. You had a victory last night. Had some bone broth from a roast that she made, and actually had a leptin signal. That is amazing in itself, because like you, I don't get that signal. Hopefully I won't have to manually control my portions anymore. That I would love to get to that point where I can do that. Aaron's talking to Larry. Yeah, the pushback from the special interests, the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, we all know that's going to happen. Yeah, setting up the live stream. It takes time to get everything in there and get everything ready to go. When I first started doing the lives, I was like, damn, this does take time. I'm in here I got in here about an hour and a half ago, and I just been putzing around in here, drinking bone broth. The sickness is going around the house here, so I'm trying to avoid it. And I don't know if it's the fasting that's keeping my immune system really good right now or not, but it's actually pretty good. My son, his girlfriend, my wife have all had the sickness. So far, it has missed me. Got to knock on wood. My desk is wood, thank God. And just making sure that I can, or trying to make sure I can stay healthy. You find the more sardine fast you do, the less you eat during the fast. Yeah, I noticed that too when I did that sardine fast. The first day I ate more, the second day was less, and by the third day it was not a whole lot. Yeah, the food pyramid's a good start. You don't like that they didn't put enough fat into the equation, but it's starting to flip everything upside down. It is, and I'm hoping that because of the way they put it on there, and yes, sardine fast. I want to see Larry doing the sardine fast with us. But I'm hoping that as more and more people start to put it out there, I hope the schools, like when I was in school, when the food pyramid came out, the USDA advertising campaign came out in the 1970s, and I was in school, that was pushed heavily on us. So I'm hoping they do the same thing here on this. At some level, it'll open some people to thinking about food differently. So it'll be undoubtedly help some. I guess we have to take anyone. Systematic change takes time, and that's what it is. It's the start of a shift. You were down to 3 cans a day at the end. Yeah, I still did, was it 4 or 5 cans on that last day, but the last can was actually a tough one to eat because I wasn't that hungry. And that's actually what I had for breakfast this morning, Aaron. I had 2 cans of sardines for breakfast and my bone broth. Basically, when I bought all my sardines, I had 2 daughters grab some. And to my surprise, they loved them and both said they felt full without me mentioning anything. That's actually really good. But your daughters like sardines? I can't get any of my daughters to even look at sardines. I did have one of my granddaughters try it one day. She didn't like them. She spit it out pretty quick. And when she tried it, she was actually she wanted to try it on her own. I just happened to be eating, and she asked what I was eating. I told her sardines, and she said, "Can I try them?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So I gave her a taste of those mustard sardines, and she didn't like them. Again, I'm drinking a hot liquid in a cool room, so I get moisture build up around the nose. So excuse me for that. John, together strong, sharing experience, strength, and hope one day at a time. And it's what it's about. Making sure, share your experience with people. If it resonates with one person and you help that one person, that's what it's all about. That's why I do what I do on YouTube here. It's like this week, I actually made 3 different videos this week. I didn't put one of them out because I didn't like them. It was just a difficult week. And I do the video and then I watch it to edit a little bit, and I'm like, I just don't like it. So out they went. I wanted to do something, but nothing seemed right this week. You know, a fishy smell when you go number 2 in the fast. Now, see, I never noticed that. It blew your mind there, 19 to 22, and lit up, William. You thought you were being trolled by your daughters. That's funny. It's amazing what happens when people actually try stuff like that. And they don't have their preconceived notion of what it is. Like when I was eating mine this morning, my mind, it tasted more like tuna today. So it wasn't bad, but I wasn't happy with the taste. So I actually grabbed like 5 or 6 good sized pork rinds and I crumbled it up and I put it in there, and then I put hot sauce in with it. And made it much better. That I do know. Numbers improve. do quickly. Yeah. Your numbers do improve quickly when you're doing a sardine fast or any fast. Hey, Uncle Willie, good morning. How are you doing in Rumble Land? Here this morning. How's your morning going today? Aaron make eggs meat for them every day after cereal for years. Like their bodies are changing and informing them without thinking about intentionally changing their diets. That's good, Brides. That's having the body change itself and then having them realize on their own that what they're eating is better for them now. That's the best way to do it. I sent John's video this morning to my daughters. His video this morning is actually really good. It really stuck with me because it's all about the individual and how you have to find your diet. You know, what works for me on carnivore or ketogenic diet doesn't work for Aaron or Bride's, Uncle Willie. You have to find what works for you. I can tell you what's worked for me. I can tell you what's worked for my wife, but you have to find what works for you. And that's where I try to talk to my daughters about the way I eat and help them. My two oldest daughters have started off and on to try to eat this way and to get healthier. They both have their own individual issues, but neither one of them have gone straight into an elimination diet, stuck it out for the 30 days at least. I recommend 30 to 90 days of elimination. And then add stuff back in to see what affects you. Because once you do that, once you eliminate everything and your body gets cleared out, you know what affects you, and you know fairly quickly within 24 hours. I'd say sometimes 48. But you'll know. And me telling my kids that it's one thing, but to hear it from somebody else that's not me, that's not Dad, it actually makes a difference. And I saw that video from John today, and I'm like, my daughter's got to hear this because this is what I've been saying, but it's coming from somebody else. You have to find your own way. But using carnivore as an elimination to begin with is what's really important. Rice biscuits there, and he read that those condiments are neutral to net positive under a sardine fast. Yeah. You just have to make sure that you're not getting, like, if you buy the water or oil sardines, or even some of the mustard sardines, they don't have added sugars. The sardines in hot sauce, you have to read the labels on those because some of those have maltodextrin in them. Maltodextrin, as we all know, has a really high glycemic index, and it makes it difficult to get back into ketosis and stuff like that. And that's what you're trying for with the sardine fast, is to get your ketones up and to get your body healing. Now, for my birthday was on Wednesday. I turned 59, and I had Kiltz ice cream on Wednesday night. For my dinner, I had 4 ground beef patties, bacon, and some cheese on them. It was really nice. After dinner with the grandkids, they had root beer floats. My wife and I had Kiltz ice cream, and my one daughter. We had Kiltz ice cream, so it's not bad. It's eggs, heavy cream, and spice, vanilla, and did another one with cinnamon. Absolutely delicious. But when I went back to fasting, it took a lot longer after having that heavy cream for my ketones to go back up. Generally, after I eat meat, like the ground beef patties or the 80-20, bacon and cheese, my ketones go right back up the next day. Thursday, I barely hit 1 on Thursday night. Actually, I don't think I hit 1. I was at 1.9 Thursday night, so I never even made it to a 1. And my BOS ratio at one point was 310. And I think even on Thursday night, it was still triple digits. It wasn't until yesterday morning, that my BOS ratio went below 80 into the 70s. And then last night I was at, my BOS ratio was 44. My ketones went up to 2.1 last night. So, and that's where I expected it to be the day before. That's usually what happens when I do fast like that. But it didn't work. You actually got the notification today. And see, when I post videos on Rumble, it has a button to send it to subscribers. When I set up the lives, it doesn't do that. It doesn't have that on there anymore. I thought it did, but I don't find it anymore. So, and I actually had to redo it this morning because I screwed up. I did two live streams this morning, but I actually started one and then ended it. It deleted it, so I had to redo the whole thing again. Your youngest skips school lunches now, which is junk sad food. Yep, because of healthy breakfast and satiety. And you're happy for her. That's amazing, and it's actually not bad for kids to do. It's not bad for them to miss a meal. It's not going to hurt them. You find that it takes time to find what works for you, and it does. And for some people, it takes a lot more time, depending upon what they have to heal in. So if you have a lot of healing to do, it might take even more time to figure out what's going on and what you need to do. Uncle Willie been eating keto chow ice cream every night. I've been constipated for 2 weeks. I think it's the carrageenan and the heavy cream. Yeah. If you're making it homemade, Uncle Willie, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's a organic heavy cream that we get at Walmart. It does not have the carrageenan in it. Or if you're in a state where you can get it, get raw milk and raw heavy cream and mix those together. They're absolutely delicious, and they don't have that either. And I haven't had trouble with the organic heavy cream that's pasteurized or with the raw. The raw stuff tastes so much better. Bride's biscuit. It's heavy lifting to first start and elimination. It's a heavy lift to first start, but it has the epiphany for you. So true that everyone must come to it in their own way. And it is. And you can look to others for what they've done. And if you can adapt and improvise to your own self, what makes this way of eating so simple. And communities like the Carnivore Quest, like Steak and Butter Gal, Dr. Barry's communities like that, where people can go in there and chat in comments and learn from each other. It's not so much the person behind the camera that's talking. It's, a lot of it has to do with their with the chat. I've learned so much in the Carnivore Quest chats, Steak and Butter Grill, and even in comments from other videos like Dr. Hampton, Tony Hampton. He does some great videos every day. John's got some great videos out there. Learning from the people that are in the chats and what they've done really helps. And I learned that quickly when I first started researching this and going through all the Dr. Barry videos and Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee. I went through so many of those, and it wasn't just the videos, it's the comments. Seeing what the average person is doing to make it work for them. And if you can learn that way, that's even more impressive. You get oil, you get the water or olive oil versions. You buy your own clean organic mustard and clean hot sauce. Yeah, Brad, I haven't done the organic mustards. I just use a regular mustard when I do use mustard, which isn't very often. But I like the Frank's Red Hot for the hot sauce. I like the flavor and the texture of it, where I've done some of the other ones and I just don't care for them. I had a really bad tickle right there. We got 3 dogs, so their hair gets in the air when the heat kicks on. you never know where it's going to go. But I do, the Frank's has always been my favorite. Yeah, the Keto Mojo strips are expensive. I generally don't use my Keto Mojo if I'm not fasting. So, and when I am fasting, I only do it twice. I do it in the morning within the first hour or so of getting up, or when I first get to work. And then I do it in the afternoon between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's just what I go by. Yeah, Jerry ended her 40 days. Oh, she ends it at midnight tonight, isn't it? I believe that's what she was saying in Rick's live this morning, is she'll be ending it tonight at midnight with some bone broth. And then Grandma's Crochet Corner, Grandma starts at 9 p.m. Oh, that with the fast that she's starting at 9? You already do pretty strict carnivore. Not sure how knowing daily ketone levels could help me beyond informational. But you probably check fine tune later. It's just data, Bryce Biscuit. And it's, I like to see where the ketones are. I like to see the level of ketosis. And if you check out Dr. Boz and look up the Boz ratio, she explains it pretty good with the way her ratio is. Like if you're trying to lose weight, if you get your Boz ratio below 80 or 80 or below, that's where weight loss is. And Friday morning, my Boz ratio was 77. Friday afternoon, it was at 44. So I'm in a pretty good weight loss zone there, which held true even though I did break my fast last night. I did eat, had a pound of meat, and what else did I have? Well, I had a chocolate caramel element, but I had a pound of meat that went with that. And this morning, I was still the same weight as I was yesterday morning. So my weight didn't change, which means I was actually less than I was before. So I know tomorrow when I start fasting again, I'll probably be pretty close to where it was. But it lets you know where your body's at, where your healing's at. And with the Boz ratio, 80 or below, and I think the other one is 40 and below is for another level, and then 20 or below, which the 20 or below is for like strict metabolic healing for like cancer and stuff like that, so that the body can heal better. But it gives you an idea of where you're at, where your body is, and how your body is healing. Have you ever compared raw dairy to say A2? No, I have not. You tolerate dairy well, but would like to test at one point to see if its effects. Panels, okay, autoimmune. Yeah. People do talk about that, and I have heard people talk about the different dairies, whether it's raw, pasteurized, or A2 dairy. Some people do much better on A2 dairy. It's got a different nutrient profile in it. I don't really know that much about the dairy other than pasteurized dairy, and anything that's got the carrageenan in it does not do my body good. But raw dairy, I actually like that. Yeah, their organic mustards, just pennies a jar more. I've really never looked at it. I'm going to have to look at that. Yeah, Frank's is the best. I think it has the best flavor. I mean, it's not Tabasco where it's just that unreasonable taste that comes with Tabasco, and I don't like it. Yes, Frank's original is very clean. So Tapatio, Valentia, and Louisiana brand. Yeah, that's what surprised me about the sardines in Louisiana hot sauce. The Louisiana brand doesn't have maltodextrin in it, but for whatever reason, when they put it in with sardines, they add maltodextrin. And it's probably the companies that are packing the sardines that do it. Keto Mojo test strips are not cheap anymore. No, they're not. I didn't know if they ever were, but I just, I only test twice a day now when I do fast and I do check them. Yes, she is in Wonderland. She made it down to 199. So she's actually very happy with her weight loss and where she's gotten with this fast. I'm very happy for her. I can't wait till I hit that spot. That's going to be amazing to go from my heaviest at 347 to seeing a 1 in front of my weight. That's going to be amazing for me. This guy, I'm making raw milk butter. You get the milk from a milk farm next door, put it in mason jars and shake it anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes and you got butter. Yeah. I've seen people do different versions of that where they'll even put it on a Sawzall blade. They'll tape it on a Sawzall blade and use a Sawzall to make it because they get too tired of doing it themselves. But I've seen people do that. I thought about doing it myself, but that's a lot of work. I'm not that motivated to do it, to be quite honest. Yeah, I can't remember who was talking about it. And that made me have to go into Dr. Boz's YouTube channel and search on her channel for her ratio. And I watched a couple of videos on that, and it was like, that's really interesting. I know I've watched her lives and I've watched some of her videos, and she's got some really good content. Dr. Boz is pretty damn smart, and that's where the sardine fast comes from, is what I've been watching with her. Yeah, John, you started at 367 pounds and you made it down to 190. 12 years keto, 9 months carnivore, reversed diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease after 5-time bypass. No glasses needed anymore. Mental clarity improving every day. And it is such a nice, it's so nice to have that mental clarity, come off the medications and just feel so much better. Bryce said, you like simply learning. You watch Dr. Boz a lot. Weight loss started as a first goal under keto. Now under carnivore is my last, but I will focus on that later. Yeah, I started carnivore for my blood pressure. Weight loss, I wasn't really concerned about when I started carnivore. What I was watching were people healing, and I knew I needed to do that. I tried taking a medication to lose weight, and it wasn't working for me. In 8 months, I had lost 12 pounds taking a medication. So I didn't have hope that the carnivore diet was going to do anything for my weight loss, but I had hope that would help me to heal so I could come off of some of my blood pressure medications. And I ended up coming off of 5. I came off of 5 blood pressure meds just in 6 weeks, which was amazing. My doctor wasn't happy because she didn't like the carnivore diet, but she'll get over it. I haven't seen her since, and it's been about 1.5 years now. Good morning, Cosmic Jester. How are you doing today? You only have one guideline, and that's if I fart even a small fart, I'm going to eat some. I ate something wrong. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yes. Good morning. Never know what happened to ketone breath meters. I'll check. Whatever happened to ketone breath meters? Yeah, pretty. I guess, even watching Dr. Boz or one of the other doctors was talking about the different ways to check your ketones. The test strips are the least reliable. And then I can't remember if it was Boz or I watched so many different videos on fasting and with different people. I forget where I've learned stuff from at times. But I know, but they said that then it was the breath strips, and then the most accurate is the blood test with the Keto Mojo, or there's another one out there that people use. I can't remember what the name of that one is because I don't use that one. So, but I like the test strips because it tests your blood. Now you can test it in this hand and it gives you one number. You test it in this hand and it gives you another number. It's the same with the blood. So I don't know if the breath ketones would be different or not. Bryce Biscuit, you working on metabolic health, autophagy, inflammation, autoimmunity, and weight, but not all at the same time. Well, your body's working on all of them at the same time. Your focus may not be on it, but if you're eating the proper human diet, which PhD, I didn't realize I was wearing a PhD shirt. When I get up in the morning to do these, my room is dark. And I just grab the first thing in my closet when I get up. And I happen to be this one here. So, but yeah, when you're eating properly, your body's doing all of that at the same time. It's just you can focus more on one or the other at any time that you want. Blood glucose 65, ketones 0.4 this morning. So it's not bad. What is it for blood glucose 65 divided by 0.4? Okay, so if you look at the Dr. Boz ratio where you divide your blood glucose by your ketones, you're at 162. For metabolic health, Dr. Boz recommends being at 80 or below. So, but at 0.4, and if you like test on the Keto Mojo, it tells you that you're not in nutritional ketosis. Well, I think if you register a ketone at all, even if it's 0.1, if you're registering a ketone, I think you're at some level of ketosis. You might not be in a good metabolic state or whatever, but you're making ketones because they're registering. Frank's is one of the only hot sauces to add garlic. That's the big part of the flavor, you think. I guess I didn't really realize that. Yeah, 44 on the Boz ratio is therapeutic ketosis. And it's actually nice to be there. You feel the difference. I know when my ketones get at that 2 or higher, I do feel it. When they get up in the 4s and 5s, I really feel the difference there. Bryce Biscuits, you're at 204. So jealous. You've been in the 2s for months now. I haven't got into the 2s like that yet. The lowest so far is 213, and that was after the sardine fast. After Christmas, I went back up to 222 at the start of the year, and so far this month I've lost 6 pounds. This morning I was down to 216, so it's going down. It's going in the right direction. It's steady. I'm not bouncing back up that much. You're back to 206. You won't celebrate at 199 just because it will fluctuate. 190 is more of a celebration. Yeah, when your fluctuation stays in that single digit or that 100 range, it's not a bad place to be at there. You lose 1 pound a month on average, but I'm good with 12 pounds a year for now. I've never lost over time so good. Healing is a priority. And it is. I've actually healed what I knew I needed fixed, and that was for my blood pressure. I know now that my insulin was really high. I had issues with that, and that's part of why I got as big as I did. Part of why I had so much. Another dog here, something a little fuzzy there. That's another reason why my blood pressure went out of control, was because of my insulin and the way I was eating. Now, I haven't had the leptin signal that tells me I'm full yet. Still waiting for that to happen. But I can control what I eat much better now, just by making up my mind. Like last night when I ate my steak, I only had the one, and I've got three of them. That's gonna be dinner tonight too. But that's healing is still my priority. But now I want to get my weight down, but I want to do it under control. I felt when I was losing weight when I first started, I was losing it too fast. Yeah, that's why I put a stop to it, and now I'm having a hard time starting it again. Yeah, great work, Aaron. Everybody fluctuates every day. Yep. Yes, we both got off blood pressure meds under carnivore. I was taking high dose metoprolol and and off of now. Yeah, and it really sucked because one of the ones I was on, and I was on a max dose, was the no, I can't even think what it is now. But it had the water pill in with it, and they were both at the max dose on it. And if you've ever had to take a water pill, man, that sucks. You drink a cup of coffee, and 40 minutes later, you have to go to the bathroom. And it doesn't. You have to go. You reverse your type 2 diabetes. Got off all meds pretty quickly a few years back. Got off all meds, fell into bad habits, back on meds, finding it is slower carnivore-ish. Yeah. It's that falling back in there that your body remembers for whatever reason, and it makes it tough to get back off of stuff. Of the three types of breath are supposed to be the least reliable? Really? I thought the test strips that you pee on would have been no least, because as your body adapts to using it, it doesn't pee out as much. Yeah, the urine becomes unreliable over time. That's where it becomes unreliable. Yep. Yeah, and you were right, John. Battling the body's natural set point. You just have to get it reset. And that's part of the reason why I do my longer extended fasts, is to hit those reset points. Because if you do the research on fasting, there are certain reset points that, like, was it 48, 72, each day there's a reset point. And you hit those, and you hit them enough times, you're going to get that benefit from it. So maybe what you need to do, Aaron, is to try a 72 or a 96-hour fast to see if that helps you reset your body. Yeah, you're confident you get your weight where it needs to be. You just have to eat right, and that's the biggest part. Yep. I don't know that book, but been carnivore since early September this time. How many times have you tried it, Uncle Willie? And how's it been going for you? I know you come into the Carnivore Quest meetings, and I see you in there. Your 7-day average is 91 on your CGM, and you're happy with that. It's a great improvement from last year. I would look at mine, but that's when I'm using my phone for my camera right now. My phone camera is actually a much better quality than my laptop or my USB camera. If I use my laptop or my USB camera, then I can't even see my carnivore sign in the background. You think I'm taller than you? Well, maybe. I'm 6'3". So right now, 6'3", and I'm 216. So I'm not sure what my BMI would be, but I haven't looked at that for a while. I know when I first started for weight loss, when I was 347 pounds, my BMI, if you go to the BMI calculators on your computer or even on your phone. Up to a certain point, it gives you the dials and it tells you where you're at. Where I was, it didn't give you a dial anymore. It just said, you're fucking fat. I was big. I was with a type 3 obesity. My BMI was 43.4 when I first started trying to lose weight. That was a big difference. So it's not hard to look up, but I was big. Last time you were below 200, Reagan was president. Yeah, I think last time I was below 200, Clinton was president. And that's when I got out of the military. Ketone CKMs are out now, but not in the United States. Some people have gotten them here in the U.S. They've reached out to some influencers. Juliet Edens, I believe it was, has one. She has a CKM that she's been wearing. And the company reached out to her, sent her a CKM so she could try it. They did sell them on Amazon last summer for a short period and then stopped selling them again. And I missed it. I wanted to have one. So hormones, fascination bride's biscuit, and it varies by individual. Yep. You rarely get a ghrelin signal. More often you get an aversion. My ghrelin signal, which is the hunger signal, I've been doing really well on that. I haven't had a whole lot of issues. I don't get the leptin signal that tells me I'm full. So I have issues hitting that one there. Lucky they never gave me the HCL. Yeah. That water pill sucks. Bridesmaids John, after doing your sardine fast, what do you feel were the benefits you noticed the most? And see, after my sardine fast, I think the biggest thing I felt is the lack of the ghrelin signal, and that's still going on where I don't feel like I'm hungry like I used to be. You're 5'10" and 204. So yeah, you are a little bit shorter than I am. So your BMI will be a little bit different. John says with sardine fasting, you hit ketosis a lot faster. The Omega Feet 3 reduce inflammation in the body. When I do water fast, you'll start off with sardines and then ease into the water fast. See, and when I had the sardines, I used the I can't even think of which one it was. But I used the water ones, and I added a little bit of mustard or a little bit of French red hot, depending upon how I felt at the time. Sometimes when I first did them, I did a couple of cans raw with nothing in them. But I didn't go into ketosis like I thought I would be. I went into ketosis a lot slower. And it's just, I had a hard time getting into, and I didn't get into as deep as I thought I would be, even at the end of it. Bryce basically, you were 276 pounds 13 months ago, and down to 204, which is absolutely amazing. That's great weight loss. Congratulations, Bryce Biscuit. Yep. Ketone CGMs would likely test. Yes, and they do. They test that fluid just like the CGMs do. And, testing your blood sugar on your finger is more accurate than a CGM. And like mine right now, my CGM that I'm wearing right now is reading 25 points higher than my blood is reading. So, and just to make sure, I did the calibration fluids on my Keto Mojo just to make sure that those were getting accurate. Oh, you've been on keto or carnivore off and on since 2017. I wish I'd have found this back then. 2017 is actually when I had heart surgery in February 2017. It would have been nice to have found this way of eating back then. I might not have needed it. Let's see, Aaron's, yeah, both broken in a sense, but on some different poles with our hormone regulation and signaling. Yeah, the leptin and the ghrelin, they make such a huge difference in how people feel. And once you realize that that's a hormone, and the way to properly feed your hormone is through your fat intake, your saturated fat, animal fat intake, it makes a big difference in how you can do that. Beach Cliff, thank you, Bryce Biscuit. It is the one I've been eating. I do the Beach Cliff, but that's actually, if you go to any of the dollar stores around here, that's where you find them. You find Beach Cliff there, and they're $1. You go into the local grocery store, it's just down the block, and they're $1.50 at the cheap end of it, up to $2 for a can. So why would I pay $2 at one store when I know the other place has them for $1? It makes it much cheaper for me to eat them. Now, we were talking about the food pyramid earlier. I just want to share this with you guys too, for those that are still here. If you go to the realfood.gov, in this site here, as you scroll down, it just pops stuff in. But you can click on the arrow button down on the side here, and then it'll pop it in there one by one. So it makes the pyramid. And then the first thing that they put in there, see that? What came in first? Your meat, your steak, ground beef, cheese, and eggs. That's the first thing that you're going to see. And then they put in the chicken, the shrimp, and then the fish, the butter, the dairy, the canned fish. Then they throw in these nuts and stuff like that, which you can just throw out. This is where they should have ended it. That should be our food pyramid, because it is. It's a pyramid right there. And that's what it should be. This is right here is where we should have stopped it. I like that there. But then, the olive oils and the nuts, the avocado. And it takes a while for them to actually put in anything else in there. And then the first thing that they put in here for the fruits and vegetables are the dark leafy greens and the berries that are actually, these are the least harmful to your bodies. So this right here, as a whole food diet, these right here are going to help you more than anything else. And I think that's where they should have probably ended it. You wish you could have found carnivore before your gallbladder came out in the 80s or 90s. Yep. Or when you were diagnosed with Hashimoto's in 83. Also, before you went on 14 mental health meds, you're off all of them now. Yeah, it makes a person wonder, how much do people actually know what's causing all this stuff? All right, Aaron, we'll see you over at Larry's. You like Coach Stephanie's Golden Triangle with a new food pyramid? Yeah. And that's getting that triangle right there, right in the left side. Just stick with that and you're going to be much better. All right. Have a good one. We'll see you guys over there. Yeah. I'm just about done. Larry actually started just a little bit early this morning. He's already started. But then after the berries, then they add in all these other things that I wouldn't recommend anything that's on the list right there, because the rest of that's just a bunch of sugar bombs. And then they put in the whole grains. And so the bottom of the pyramid down here, you can just eliminate that altogether, because you don't need that. That's all way too processed, has way too much sugar. And most of the stuff on the right half of the food pyramid, you can eliminate all of it if you want to, and just have what's on the left. To me, that's a much better idea. It's a better way to do stuff. All the books with original food pyramid in them for food, all the books with original food pyramid in them are food for my catapult. Yes. Launch them into space, right? That's one way to do it. It's a good start. It turned the food pyramid upside down. And when they came out with it originally and they had the meats and stuff like that as the smallest portion, it was a advertising campaign to sell wheat for the farmers, to make them money. It had nothing to do with health or with science. It was all about just making money for the farmers. So it is what it is. And it wrecked people's health for 50 plus years. Now something is actually being changed and being done about it, which it should have been done a long time ago. That USDA advertising campaign should have never been allowed to be done. It was an ad. It got pushed into schools and it got taught as science. It got taught as the proper way to do stuff, and it was never a proper way. So I found it very interesting when they came out, and I found this site very interesting, the way it would the way it put the foods in there one at a time so that you could see basically the way that this is the way you should eat. And if you don't eat specifically like that, you can cut it back. There you go. Right there. That right there is an elimination diet. You can use what's on here, eat just this for 30 to 90 days, eliminate and heal your body. Then you can add that back in. You can add that in. You can add that in. And then you can live on this here and you're going to be just fine. Nothing else that's on the food pyramid on the right side of here, nothing on this side here is needed. You can live completely fine with just what's on the left. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I hope you all have a great day. Well, let me do this here real quick. This is where I'm heading to for right now. There you go. I'm going to go see the Carnivore. Y'all want to come in and hang out? We're going to be. That's where I'm going to be for this morning. Go hang out with Larry. Carnivore Quest. We'll see you all there. Have a